Hello.
Perfect. Perfect, Stephanie. So I'm just trying to invite Julia here.
Yeah, we were chatting while you left us, and we weren't sure if you were coming back. So.
Oh, well, I mentioned you guys that I was gonna make a live session. And I will invite you over.
I know, but we're when we chat, we chat. She's there, right there. You just ask her to join.
Oh, there you go. And yes,
she's just there under. She's there. Just click on her face and ask her to join. Hello, everybody.
I just did. There you go.
Yay!
Yay!
Perfect.
I'm always excited when I get to see Julia.
Aww, I'm excited too.
Perfect.
Dan,
so, how are you today? How are you guys?
I'm a little frustrated, but but before I tell you about that, have you heard Julia sing?
Oh,
No, I haven't.
I like this.
That is a sin. That is a sin. You
I
have
bet
to
it is.
hear her
I bet
sing
it is.
Liza Minnelli. What's the name of the song?
Maybe this time.
Maybe this time. You don't understand. She gives Liza Minnelli a run for her money. Not kidding. That's how good she
Love
is.
Liza.
Okay.
Dan,
Thank you.
you have to watch her sing this song. You don't
Well,
understand. Julia, I had chills. I had tears in my eyes. I'm like, no way.
Thank you. I'm so glad you liked it. I know. I'm glad you could appreciate it because I feel like, yeah, so many people. I sent that video and no one even knows who Liza Minnelli is. My friends are, I don't know, and I love Liza Minnelli. She's my favorite. She's inspired me to even do theater. I love her. So thank you. I'm so glad that you like that. Well, I should tell you that when I was watching your Madonna videos, I was so impressed. I don't know if you know this, Sam, but Stephanie used to do Madonna impersonation.
Oh my God.
You could still do it though. I'll tell you, you look the same. You really still could.
I will do how old is she? 65? I'll do the 65-year-old version.
No, you don't look like you couldn't do that.
I need a butt implant though. Doesn't she have butt implants now?
Yeah, I think she has really bad ones.
Sorry, Dan, we're hijacking your show.
Sorry.
I love it. No, I love it. Keep going. No. Please keep going. I love it.
My butt is too small to do Madonna's butt now.
You could just put a pillow in your.
I could. You've seen it, right? You've seen the implants?
Yeah, they're crazy. It's not a good surgery.
Wait, is it real?
Her butt? No, I think they're implants.
I know, but it's permanent.
I think so. I mean, with her money though, she could probably get them taken out whenever she wants.
True.
But
it's where did this conversation go? I know you had a list of questions.
No,
butt implants are so much more important.
Straight to butt
I've always
implants.
worked really hard to get my butt not to be like that, but now I'm telling you, I'm gonna do the new Madonna now. The Madonna today.
Sounds like a plan.
That got a lot easier than the Madonna back then.
I know.
The guy that was in there, Joey, he gave me all the confidence when I was doing that because he was in love with Madonna, so he knew all her steps. He had and he's like, you can do, because I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't know how to do this. He's like, no, you're doing this. And he's the one that jumps around stage and he's the one that gave me all the choreography, all the moves, learning how to do all that stuff with the mouth. Anyway. All right.
That's amazing. That's so awesome. I love stuff like that. I love celebrity impersonation stuff. I think that's so cool.
Well, you do a few other celebrity impersonations too.
Yeah,
Lady Gaga. You also can do Madonna, but you could actually sing. And wait, who am I forgetting? My favorite,
Shakira.
Tina Turner.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Shakira.
Do you do Shakira too?
Yeah, that's the first impression I've ever done. I love Shakira.
Yeah, she could do all of these things, Dan.
Yeah,
that is amazing. That's awesome. I mean, you guys are basically doing everything. I love it.
Yeah, between the both of us, I feel like we cover every aspect of the arts, which is awesome.
Agree, yeah.
That's why I love working with Stephanie. Yeah, we're a good team.
I love it. But
and we are gonna do a couple of things together coming up.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Now, I mean, now that you mentioned that, tell me a little about. I mean, if you can, yeah, tell me a little bit about them.
Do you want to go ahead? What should we talk about first? I feel like we're doing so much. I don't even know where to begin. I mean, we just started our show.
I can't let you out of my life. I don't know why it just come up one thing after the other. You know,
Yeah.
It's just one thing after the other. But we are doing this talk show with Keone Productions, and they with John Stevens, who I met through John Casablanca. It's a talent agency. Well, it's a coaching. You learn how to act and model, and me and Julia are both coaches over there at John Casablanca's.
Mm-hmm.
And then once they go through the program, they get represented by Model and Talent Management. So it's a great kind of two organizations working together. John was in charge. To make a long story short, he left to start his own company, and me and Julia are going to do one of their shows. They do yoga, they do stars, they talk about everything. They have a show for everything. Yeah.
It's awesome.
And bi-weekly our show is called, go ahead Julia, tell them.
Long Island Hustle, or Long Island Hustlers. And Long Island Hustlers, we're the Long Island Hustlers. And yeah, it's super fun. We just basically talk about, you know, both of us are working women in the industry, and we just talk about the hustle and, you know, what it's like to perform every day, and to, you know, tips and tricks to overcome, you know, stage fright. We just talk about all the different aspects of performing, and, you know, it's a fun, I think, kind of empowering show, you know, of us doing it on our own.
I love it. Now, for those who don't know, what is Keone Productions? You know, for those who are listening to this right now or later on, like, what is that?
It's a company that he started these talk shows on YouTube, and they're talk shows with all of these it's kind of like what you're doing, but a different take on it, where each team or person has their individual topics. Like Zoe Zeller, she's a model, so she talks about tips on modeling, but she also talks about navigating New York City because she's from Colorado, I think. She's like,
oh wow,
yeah, she's not, and so she, you know, how she navigates her way around New York. It's very funny because you and me are like, you know, New York, you just survive. But she, you know, and so she has a lot of these cool ideas and debunking myths of modeling and stuff like that. And then there's somebody that does skincare, and there's somebody where they just chat about, you know, current events. And like I said, yoga and things like that. And he started his own company. It reminds me of your kind of model because he, you know, gets people from the grassroots, you know, people that, you know, are not, you know, $1 million fames here.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Next week.
Yeah, next week.
Okay. Wow. And like, where the idea came from, like to join them, like how did it all happen?
I recruited Julia like I do with everything.
Yeah, Stephanie's like honestly like my manager at this point. She's always like, Julia, Zoom meeting tomorrow. Be there. She just gives me all these amazing opportunities, and she's definitely the more organized out of the two of us, I'd say.
That's pretty scary.
I feel like you're on top of it, you know, and Stephanie said, you know, she really came up with the idea for the show, and I thought it was a wonderful idea for, you know, especially because I'm really starting out here as far as, you know, going out into the world and trying to audition for things. And obviously Stephanie has a little more like experience with just the arts and doing more productions and stuff. So I think it's good to have both of those aspects. It's kind of like Stephanie's like the person who's like doing it, really like working in the industry, and I'm the person who's like just about to get in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and I think that combination is it's amazing because you can get, I mean, both of you can get like both feedback, right? I mean, like both energy from each side here to continue creating, and at the same time, I mean, the fact that you can rely on someone that has been on the industry for some years now. I mean, that knows everything, that has been done a lot of cool things. That her career is amazing and epic and badass. We all know that. That is really cool. And like for you, for example, Julia, what were some of the challenges that you had when you were, just recently started out?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there are so many challenges from every angle. Like, I feel like the biggest challenge, and I know this is kind of like a cliche, but it's really mentally. I mean, everyone around you is telling you, go to college, you know what I mean? Do this, do that, become a doctor, be a lawyer. And it's like, in your heart what you're meant to do. And it's just obvious, like, not everyone's going to be supportive of you. So I think it's really learning to be your own biggest fan and to surround yourself with people who are positive and who do support you and who are, like-minded and artists. So I think it's just a whole lifestyle switch, and it's exciting, but it's scary, and it's, there are a lot of challenges I'm facing. I'm currently in LA, so it's just, really learning to be resilient and like have so much confidence. Like, I just need to like pitch myself so much. Even if I'm not feeling it that day, I need to act like I'm the most talented person in the world, because if I believe in myself, eventually people will do the same,
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I do understand what you mentioned about, you grow up, you go to school, then you go to college, then you find a job in a corporation. I mean, whatever you studied, and then after 40, 50 years, then you retire, and then you die, and that's it. Like that.
I don't want to do that, man.
Yeah,
right.
Hell no.
At least to me, and at least to me, because I've been in both sides here. I mean, if your passion is to work in a corporation, fantastic. You feel like you accomplish your life, fantastic. If your dream was to be a doctor, lawyer, whatever. But like, the thing that I don't agree is the fact that if you want to do something, if you want to do something outside the box, which is either acting, modeling, singing, take a pick here, and you force yourself to do some other thing, eventually it drags you out. Eventually you start to feel unhappy. Eventually you start to get all angrier. You stop it. You literally kind of stop enjoying life. Like the other day, I was checking this article in which they were saying like 85% of people worldwide hate their jobs.
That's crazy. Wow.
That's crazy, right?
Sad.
It's like, life is so short. You know what I mean? It's like, why not just do what you want in life? It almost, like, I understand it, and I feel for those people, because we grow up and we think we have to do this. Society kind of like brainwashes us in that sense. But I really have respect for people who are on the other end of it. Like, I'm gonna do what makes me happy.
Absolutely.
There you go.
For
yeah.
sure.
Yeah. At the end, and it's so interesting, because at the end, if you do what makes you happy, I mean, then you can say that you're successful, because that is like saying that someone is successful. What I've discovered is that whenever you say that, instantly it's money, like how much money he or she has, and at the same time, I have met people that they just are making it for their own, they don't live in this huge mansion, but when you talk to them, they are happy, and they just get like this. I mean, you can totally get so much feedback for their vibes and so much inspiration, because they're doing something that they like. And I think that is also kind of an interesting thing, because back when you're little, they will always be telling you, what do you want to do for a living? They're like instantly starting to trying to guide you. Go be a lawyer, go be a doctor, politician, and that's fine. But I do think that, I mean, right now it's kind of a little bit more opening, but I think that we still have a lot to learn, in order that if someone wants to dedicate on arts, that's fine, instead of trying to be like, ugh, and how are you gonna eat, or how are you gonna pay your bills, like things like that. I do think that we still need a lot to kind of open ourselves and be like, if he or she wants to be an actor, model, whatever, that's fine, that's cool. I mean, that's amazing. We need people like that at the end, so
Totally.
For sure.
Yeah.
I love it. And like, for both of you, like, what has been some of the challenges that you had when you were about to perform, or like on this creation, on the show that you are working on? Like, what has been some of the challenges that you had in order for you to be like, okay, we need to work on it?
Technical issues.
It's true. This whole new era of tech, right? It's a good point,
We had 3 meetups We thought we had some really great material.
We were ready.
Yeah, it just went away. I don't know where
I
it
love
happened to it.
That is amazing. And like what is, I mean, can I, like, for those who are listening this right now or later on, could you give us probably like a small, like a small trailer, let's say, or a small taste of what's coming on you guys?
Yeah. On the next episode?
Yeah.
Do you want to go ahead, Stephanie?
Okay, on the next episode of Long Island Hustlers, which will be aired, I guess, next Wednesday.
Wednesday, yeah.
Yeah, next Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Mm-hmm.
Figure out your time zone. I almost missed the time zone meeting today. I'm just with these time zones. Anyway, we are going to discuss the Long Island success stories in acting, like big success stories.
Yeah.
All the actors that came out, and specifically I wanted to talk to you about, she doesn't know this yet, but I wanted to talk to you about Alec Baldwin and the shooting and how you felt about that.
That's super interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, because I have very strong feelings about that. I want to talk about that, and what success stories you know about that came out of Long Island, and there are so many. So we're going to talk about that, and I think we need to add how to deal with rejection. Julia's a master of this.
We need to add that, yeah.
But I thought of you. I got rejected today, Dan. And I thought of Julia because she is so strong. She's so much stronger than I was at her age. I would have never been able to take that phone call that I had earlier today. This agent just shot everything I had down. But I would not have been able to take that if I was your age. I would have just been like, I quit. Like, I just was not strong like you. And I'm so, like, I thought of you when I got off the phone. I'm like, that's it. I'm writing a better review. Like, that was my thing. Yeah. I'm like, what?
But I'm glad that you wrote that review. I think it is good because you're saving, I feel like it's good to inform people. Like, if this woman's not legit, so some young girl doesn't call up and pay her,
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
wow.
Sure.
Wow. I understand what you mean. I mean, a lot of people right now. I mean, besides the people that have coming to the show at the same time, hundreds or I think thousand probably have rejected themselves. And at first I was feeling horrible because back when I started, I had like the first 50 episodes on a row. Like everybody was saying yes, and I was like, I'm killing it here. But then later on, start to the nose game and things like that, and it gets discouraged. But then you kind of understand things later on. You're like, okay, I get it. I mean, probably it's not the right time either for me or for them or like for both, So it's fine. I'll just continue, keep working hard, and who knows? Maybe at some point we will be able to make it happen, or probably not. Also like the agendas. I mean, at first when I started this, I was like, I started to discover like how crazy the agenda of an actor or singer can be. You can be free, and then suddenly you get an audition, and then you get canceled that audition, and then you get another one, and that is time lapse.
Very
of
inconsistent. Yeah.
It's crazy. But like, for example, for you, Stephanie, like the fact that you have been working with Julia now, like what are some of the things that you learned from her, for example?
Oh my goodness. Determination against all odds. Showing up, and that is what draws me to her, because it's one of the things that frustrates me about I don't have a lot of patience. She wouldn't know. I don't even know if she would know this. Maybe you've seen it in classes, but I don't have a lot of patience. But she shows up and does the work and isn't afraid. I saw on one of my friends, my dance friends' Facebook pages, they said no means next opportunity.
There you go.
And that is what she's always doing. And so it's inspiring, and because people are gonna be really mean. That's just the way it is. People are gonna slam the door in your face. People are gonna criticize you. I don't know why so much, but they do. And that's it. Yeah.
They are. And you gotta just keep going. Totally.
Yeah, of course. And I think that is also one of the things that that at least for our generation, I mean, I see it with my generation, for example, like with kids that I grew up. The fact that back when we were little, they always taught us that the stars are yours. You know, you're gonna be super successful. You can do whatever you want. You know, like things like that. And once you discover life, then you start to understand that it's not like that, and of course you get discouraged. And at the same time, I mean, I don't blame like for example my parents, for example, because they did his best. You know, they did whatever they thought it was correct. They grew up in a totally different generation, so I get that. But yeah, it's so interesting now that once you discover life, you're like, oh, and once you get like that first door shutting in your face, you're like, oh, okay.
Hard hit. Yeah, it's rough. It's so true because there's just this really abrupt shift. I feel like you know, it's like, oh, what do you want to be? You want to be an astronaut? You want to be a movie star? You could be anything. And then I don't know when exactly, but you get to this point, maybe in high school or maybe even middle school, and it's like, I don't know about that. I don't think you can be anything. You know, like, and it's I don't think you could be anything. You're like, you know, and it's just, it's hard. It's a really hard pill to swallow. And I think it's about finding the balance between what's realistic. Obviously, I'm not going to be homeless and be an actress. You know what I mean? What do I have to give up and what do I have to take? You know what I mean? So I think it's about figuring out how to support yourself and be happy. But like you said about money earlier, I got to say that the happiest people I know aren't super rich, and on the contrary, the richest people I know aren't super happy, you know. So it's just an observation. I'm not in it for money at all. Yeah,
absolutely. That is so interesting that for people that does have a lot of money, whenever you hear their problems, you're like, what? You know, like you tend to be like, are you kidding me? You know,
right?
Like that. But at the same time, I mean, it's not their fault. It's like their life. It's like like the life they're living, right? But back as I was saying, it is so interesting that like once you finish high school, then you're like, what the hell I'm gonna do? And then you're like, okay, I'm gonna try things. And then, for example, on my case, I started as a bartender. Then I did, I think, like 1 or 2 plays. I was like, let's try acting. And then once I discovered, like, acting is not my thing. Let's switch to other thing. And moving on through different things here and there. And it is so interesting that during that journey, you get the chance to discover little by little what do you want to do, right? And and I do think that at least when you're little, they should kind of teach you a little bit. You know, they should kind of guide you a little bit on what are your abilities, right? Because the same thing. I mean, we tend to have the same system back from years back that they don't. Instead of creating a human, they basically create a number. You know what I mean? To do something in a company, and then it's awful. It's bad. So
I totally agree. And as you know, like Stephanie and I know, Stephanie and I met at an art school, and I just think that alone is super powerful. Like something I really dislike about the school system is that even if you're like 16, 17 in high school and you already know what you want to do, you're forced to, I don't know, like I'm sitting there taking math classes and these classes that I'm like, I could use my time in such a better way right now. So I really think society and schools should really offer a more intensive, like, is this really your dream? No matter how crazy it may be, let's help you get more educated on it, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Totally. Wow. Yeah. And like, what is the message? Like, what is your goal? Like, both of you, like, what's the goal that you're trying to achieve for, let's say, for new generations to come? Like,
I'm trying to, I guess I have so many. I mean, just my goal in life is to, I guess, to be heard, but to be heard saying something obviously of value. I mean, I think the goal as a musician and actress, whatever it may be, I definitely want to spread messages and be of a support to girls like me, to guys, to everyone. And just, you know, music and performing arts, it's comfort. Like, no matter who you are, at the end of the day, you turn on the TV, you put in your earbuds and you listen to music. So I wanna be someone who, even if I change one life, you know what I mean, through my art, that's enough for me. And I think I've got a lot to say, and I just want to say it, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I do. The other day I was this artist was saying that if you can move someone of what you do, just one person, if you can move one person in whatever you're doing, either acting, music, whatever, then you're on the right path. Then you are actually making a difference here. So it just keep working hard. So then that one people is gonna turn into two, then three, four, five, so on, so on. So it's crazy. And but like for you, Stephanie, like what is the lesson here, or like what are some of the things that you want to teach for the new generations?
One of the projects that I want to continue and revisit at one point with Julia again is she came up with this great idea called Drama for Disorder.
Okay.
And it's to teach kids with anxiety how to channel their challenges basically through arts and theater and dance and singing and whatever. So that's one of the things. But I think that Julia had a really great point. You do definitely change lives. Like me and my partner did a show for this senior center a couple of weeks ago. And he loves older people. So he got out there and like I couldn't get him off stage. Like he just decided he was going to do this impromptu where he just started talking to the audience and he was like, you got to get up every day and you got to do this. He had them up out of their seats and and they're like, some of them are on walkers, but they're all energized. They left like so excited. For one full hour, we were between dancing and him talking for a whole hour to these older people, and they couldn't have been happier. I mean, they were asking us for autographs and pictures. It was insane. It's like, what?
Yeah, you probably changed it. Like they'll remember that forever. You know what I mean?
Oh my goodness. They were like waiting backstage, and I wasn't like, I've not done it. I've had that happen when I used to do cat skills all the time, but I haven't had that happen in a long time. So I was like, why? He's like, they're waiting for us, and I'm like, well, I'm naked getting dressed. They were like, I gotta put clothes on. They were like, oh, we wanted pictures with in your costume. So things like that. I mean, you just leave. I could do a job that pays me literally 10 times what they did and not leave with that same feeling. That it was a low paying job, but we did it anyway, and they were just so amazing. So things like that, make you go, okay, I'm gonna, and just doing the work though is really the message that I like to say. And that's another thing that I love about Julia. Do the work. So it's not like you can't just declare yourself an actor or model or singer or dancer or musician. You have to get up every single day like a basketball player or a football player or any other sport. Or if you're a doctor, I hope that you're reading up on the newest stuff. You're not just using old techniques. So every day doing the work would be how you're going to get there. And if you train, you will be financially rewarded. Maybe you're not going to be a multimillionaire, but you will reap the benefits. You will be able to make a living 100%.
Definitely. Yeah.
So.
Totally.
Okay. Now, let's say, right, that one day I call you both, and then I told you guys, hey, guess what? I'm going to start in the acting business. Now, for someone that is just recently jumping in, right? What do you think, or both of your experience here, what do you think that are some of the things that I need to consider first?
Can you bartend? No.
What? Do you have a waitressing outfit?
I actually went to bartending school twice, but that's another story. But what would you consider first? Training.
Totally, training.
I mean, you can't just declare yourself a basketball player or a golfer or anything else. So you can't just be an actor. You have to train. There are a set of skills that you need to learn, whether you're studying method or Meisner or Stella Adler or whatever you're studying, Stanislavski, it doesn't matter. You must train first. Then you put together your portfolio and your package, and then you look for some ways to market yourself.
There you go. And what advice can you give me for rejection, to handle rejection? Let's say that I call you and again, and then I say, I just got rejected. Like,
I'm a pro at this one.
Yeah, take that one, Julie.
Yeah, I mean, I said 70. you know, inevitable, literally. Even the most famous people will tell you, oh yeah, like I think I'm a huge Lady Gaga fan. She was like torn apart.
Oh, yeah.
So many people used to tell her, like, you suck. You just are so untalented. And I think it just goes to show you, first of all, I think it's realizing, and that's why there's kind of a fine line between it's realizing that everyone has an opinion. So like, it's like, just because someone says something to you, that's just their opinion. We're all raised in different households. We all have different ideas of what things are. So it's just putting things into perspective and not thinking that one person can make or break who you are. And I think it as an actor, as a performer, any type of musician, it's really, you need to have this foundation of staying true to yourself. So even if someone gives me a no, I think, okay, I'm just not for them. That doesn't mean I'm not a performer. It's just I'm not their cup of tea, and it's their loss. You know, you kind of got to think of it from that angle of, you know what I mean? And it's rough. And I spoke about this on last week's show. It's something I sometimes do. You know, I kind of like, it's maybe unhealthy, but I disconnect from myself. And when I'm at an audition, let's say, I'm just at the audition. It's a performance, and even if I'm rejected, like, it's all just a performance. You know what I mean? Like, I just, like, I'm a girl getting rejected, and that's fine, and I just move on. Like, it's just a way for me to take the emotion out of it and not take it personally, because, like I said, it's all a matter of opinion. You know.
Totally.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Meryl Streep. In one of our slides, you'll see it, John Casablanca. It says that she was told that she was too ugly for a part early on. And you know, look at her now. So she did not listen to the rejection, obviously. Yeah. But who else? Somebody else. Oh, was in the movie that movie with Meryl Streep, Devil Loves Prada. What was her name? Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway, yeah.
Was the 9th. I think she was the 9th person to get asked to do that part. Like, she was not the first one.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Absolutely.
That's
Wow.
insane.
Wow. Now,
yeah.
If you had to describe both your careers, but on a drink, so let's say that we're gonna mix both your careers on a drink, what would be the name of that drink? I'm curious to know.
The Long Island Hustle.
Yes.
There you go.
On the rocks.
I love it.
It's
a sophisticated Long Island iced tea.
Yeah.
Okay. I love it. And like, my last question here is, what motivates you both, and what are some of the things that we can expect from you both in the future?
Yeah. It's a two-part question. I mean, I guess what motivates me is just, it's my passion. I mean, it's as simple as a love for what I do. I literally wake up in the morning and just knowing there's nothing else I would rather do. Even if I'm on a stage and there's no audience, I want to sing, I want to perform, and there's, you know, that I just have a love for it. It's like when you love someone, you want to be with them. When you love performing, you want to perform. So I think that's what motivates me. Do you want to say what motivates you, and then we'll go back to the other question?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's something that you kind of like have to do. Like, you just have to do it. And you just, it's like this innate inside kind of motivation that just, it's like, this is where you feel right, where you feel like the whole world, like, for dancing, I still love, like, I'm doing new lifts and do new challenges. I love doing things that nobody else can do. Well, not nobody, but I couldn't do yesterday. I mean, there are plenty of people that could do way more than me, but I love challenging myself, especially at my age, to be able to do these things. Like, not a lot of people do that. Most people stop. So doing that, and just with acting, I just it's just something, when I'm doing it, it's like better than a vacation for me. It's just, you know, I could just do it all day long. It's just fun. It's just fun. So yeah.
Wow. And what can we expect from you both in the future? Hit me.
Yeah, I mean, a lot. I mean,
oh my God.
What?
I'm very sorry. We have
Your
audio is going out.
Goes on and on. Yeah.
Oh, because
there you go. That's good. You're good.
All right. We have hybrid hazards. Wait, I gotta get it right. He's gonna kill me. Hybrid hazards. We were in together. Now there's a hostile hybrid coming out with the two of us.
I'm
Hostile
excited.
Hybrid. It's the third episode because that's the sequel. And we had a prequel that you weren't in, but Natalie was in.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Where I capture somebody. So we had a prequel that is also coming out. So we have the sequel, then we have the prequel. And then in addition to that, we're doing another one. I guess it's the sequel 2. He's gonna kill me. I'm so sorry. How do you say it, Julia? It's Where Creature Chronicles. It's a web series that's coming out. Hopefully.
Really awesome series. Yeah.
There you
I'm
go.
so excited
Love
for
it.
that. Yeah. So that's definitely, we've got a lot. And I think even in the future, I know Alexis mentioned maybe filming some more. So you could always just keep an eye out for those types of projects, those creature projects. And I can assume that Stephanie and I will be working a lot together on different kinds of films. You know, there are so many opportunities that seem to arise for both of us. So I'd say lots of acting and, you know, to keep your eye out for. I'll be, you know, I've got a lot of songs and videos I'm excited to release. I'm always working on new music. So I'll definitely be posting about all of that. And what about you, Stephanie?
Oh, and Julia, if you wanted, first of all, if you ever need a choreographer, you know where to find one. But if you wanted, me and Vincent are doing all these crazy lifts now. I was thinking you could silhouette us because we're a little too old to be in your video, but you could silhouette us in the background.
I was literally gonna ask you.
Wouldn't that be cool? You'll still like,
yes.
you know.
That's just really funny that you say that today because I am shooting a video in July, and I was sorry, the sun is like so in my face, and I was going to ask you, that's so much better, to be in my video. Basically, one of the scenes, I want to be in a ballet class, and I want to walk in the ballet classroom. Like, there are a bunch of serious ballerinas, and maybe you could be like the ballet teacher, and I want to walk in like a rock star, like dressed totally different from all of you guys.
I love it.
And everyone's like judging me, you know. So I was gonna ask
Isabella, she could be in the class.
I was gonna ask Isabella. Yeah, that's perfect.
Like that.
So you could expect that. Me and Stephanie will be releasing a music video together.
Yay!
That's amazing. I mean, at the end, what can I say? I mean, both your careers here are epic, are badass, are amazing. I mean, I already feel inspired, you know, like right now because of this awesome chat. Keep doing what you do. Keep pursuing it. As I said, it is super inspiring. It is badass. It is super cool. And I'm super sure that eventually, I mean, it's more than obvious that everybody's gonna know about you, Julia, about you, Stephanie. I mean, you guys are like so cool and so awesome at what you do. And the fact that you're putting it, passion on it, you know, that you're liking it and you love it. And as simple as it may sound, we all know that sometimes it can even take decades for you to understand what you want to do in life. And the fact that you're doing it, you are showing everybody that it's possible and you're having results to it. I think that's proven enough for everybody to get inspired and be like, you know what, if they can do it, I can do it too, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Also, I want to thank those who are watching this right now. Thank you so much for watching. If you're watching this either later here on Instagram or later on YouTube, or if you are, you know, on the way to work, walking with the dog, or whatever you're doing, and listening to this awesome episode, make sure to
dog walking.
First pause. Yeah.
They're all walking their dogs.
Then go follow Julia. Go follow Stephanie. Hashtag Team Stephanie and hashtag Team Julia because both of you guys are amazing. And before I send you off.
Hashtag Dan.
Yes, hashtag Team Dan.
That too, thank you. And also, before I send you guys off, I mean, you know, Stephanie, what I'm about to do. Julia, if you haven't seen some more episodes before, then you know exactly what's about to happen. But if not, I can surprise you, so I love it. So let me show you. Wait.
I love that.
I mean, at some point we're gonna have live audience, but you know, we're still working on it. And at some point I'm still working to have an episode on Staples Center, but we'll see what happens. You know?
Awesome. This was so much fun.
But in the meantime, thank you so much again. Keep killing it. Keep doing what you do. Keep spreading all of your epicness and badassness. I don't know if that word exists, but you know, you get my point, right? So and again, thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Bye, Julia.
Okay.
Bye,
Bye, Steph. See ya.
Bye.